What's up, guys? This is an versus Onyx versus Zooz video. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and please comment down below what you think that for your first e-bike, which one you would pick. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna start off with the differences between the Onyx and the Zooz. Is that the Onyx is all speed, strictly speed, nothing but speed. You could run this bike without a chain. You could definitely put dirt pegs on this bike. You do not have to have pedals, but I do recommend having pedals, because if the law were to stop you, you can at least say this is an e-bike, this is like class 3, and get away with it. No tickets yet for me, but still, be on the safe side. Don't ruin it for others. I think that's a con, guys. I had a lot of people say to replace this bracket, because a couple of people had this bracket, this square bracket right here, break on them because of the washer pressure squeezing onto the bolt itself. And so yeah, I say get it replaced. There's this guy named Ryan Dean that makes these bolts for like 20 to 40 bucks. They say replace them. I haven't had them break on me yet, but they still say replace them. That's a con, because I feel like the manufacturer should have refined their pieces to their bikes, especially if you're shipping them all over the world. Also, what I think is a con is that this front brake, been having a lot of trouble with it. It's been squealing like crazy. I replaced the pads on it. I don't know what the hell's going on. I've cleaned it many of times, but for some reason it can't stay quiet. So for an electric bike, yeah, I know, but this brake makes noise. I'm not sure if I have to replace the whole brake itself, but just let everyone know, try to keep your discs clean. So the cleaner the better, and the less noise to deal with. But you do have to do maintenance control on this bike a lot more than you have to do with the Zooz. Definitely have to get taller bars, guys. Taller bars is a must. If you are short, I'm 5'3", so I'm short. I had to get taller bars out of the box. Just instant replace. Also an instant replace the half throttle. I had to instant replace that. I couldn't do it. It hurted my hand, and I have wrist problems, so I had to get that changed out the box as well. I also got both of the power button and the 3-mode selector changed to metal, because metal beats plastic. What they give you out the box is plastic. Obviously, my crash messed up everything. They did want to give me a replacement, but they wanted me to pay for it. And I was like, and then on top of that, I would have to wait for it to come in the mail, and it was too much at the time. So I just left it. I kind of made it try to look good. But plastic doesn't win. Definitely got to replace everything. Handlebars, throttle, power controls, possibly your turn signal controls, because plastic doesn't win. Out the gate, guys, out the gate. So this is the cons for the Zooz bike. So the seat, guys, cannot be upwards. Like, it can't rise up. I wish this seat could like go up for anyone that wanted an extra height for their feet or legs to hit the ground, but unfortunately they don't have that because they decided to extend the seat instead. So I don't know if it's anyone's preferences, but you cannot rise the seat. Also guys, for a con, these tires are really hard to find, okay? Especially if you're just trying to just have extra pair. I've just so happened to buy street pair off Amazon. But these tires, stock tires, are Hookworm by Maxxis. It doesn't quite run out of stock so often as much as the dirt tires do, but you know, for people who want to keep street tires, just to keep in mind, finding these, I would check eBay, Amazon, AliExpress. Those are like the three main websites I check out for any tires. I also bought the dirt tires off Amazon, so to get more tires, I would definitely get re-up and get at least 4 of each, 2 for the street and then 2 for the dirt tires. If anybody wants to call this a con, then so be it. But I've been trying to find what type of motor this is so I could possibly see if there's a motor that could be compatible with the Zooz battery. That way I could still keep this going, this style, but have a more torque motor, if that makes any sense. Like, that would be awesome. Have the same type of power, the cleanness, but just a more powerful motor. That would be delightful. If anybody think in the comments that they know the motor that could possibly upgrade this, that would be awesome. Please put down in the comments if you guys know that, or may know somebody who may know that. I think the total pros of this bike is that you could fully customize this bike. Fully customizable. You can change everything on this bike completely, except the panels and the hardtop. But you could change the seat. You could change the shocks. You could change the pegs that you put on this. You could change the pedals. You could change the crank sprocket. You could change your tires size. Like, you could change your handlebars. It's crazy how much you could do to this bike, yo, and still make it look good. I think that's the major pro of this bike. You could customize this bike any way you want to, and it will still look amazing. I think it's a little bit of a pro that stock RCR seat is comfier than the Zooz. I'm not gonna lie. This is a lot more cushion, okay? And it's comfier. I do recommend getting maybe a swoop, like a swoop for your butt to rest, because after a while this does get pretty hard for the tush. But I do recommend this seat over the Zooz seat, definitely. Don't get me wrong, I love this bike, but it's very expensive trying to keep it going. If you want a bigger battery, you will be looking at about $2,000 extra. range around there to get a bigger battery, around 50 amp hour. And it's crazy because this bike is already $4,100 range dollars. So if you got that kind of money, I say go for it. But holy crap, it's a lot of money, and that's not even including the fast charger that the Onyx do recommend you getting, because it fast charges your battery within 2 to 3 hours, depending on what size battery you have. So it's a 10 amp charger, but they charge over $300. So it's not cheap, guys. This is a lot of money to dash out to keep this bike. And that's just for the fast charger. There's also a cycle sectator that you could buy to help balance your cells in the battery bank. And that's a whole separate charger. And that's also $100 or 100 range. So you guys, please think about the decision you guys are about to make. Yes, the bike is sexy as hell, but think about these things. There's going to be people you want to ride with, and you're going to be wanting that power to keep up with everybody and not to have long range anxiety. So just keep that in mind for anybody who still is wanting to get one of these. To keep up with this bike, you do have to keep up with this bike way more than the Zooz. But I do love it. I still love it. It's sexy. It's badass. It looks raw. And it gets the job done if you want to have a good time and you want to go really fast. I think this is the only bike that has that torque feeling. Yes, there is Huck cycles, but I hear a lot of people say they have a little bit more of a slow roll than more of a torque. So, please correct me if I'm wrong. There's a few Huck owners out there that can testify, but that's what I've heard. Okay. But yeah, definitely maintenance control, and you have to be some type of a little bit mechanical, because if you're not, then you're gonna have a hard time trying to keep up with this bike if anything were to go wrong. So just a heads up for anybody who might want one, because it's so awesome and looks crazy good. But I will say, you will have to get your hands and your brain a little bit dirty to really know what you're doing with this bike. I still say this is a luxury bike for me, because I never thought I would own something like this, for one, and for two, it will catch anybody's eye. Even 2 to 3 decades from now, it still would catch somebody's eye. So definitely let me know in the comments of what you guys think. I just want to let everyone know that you can take this on the train. This is a 63-pound bike. You can definitely put this on the train, take this on the train. Haven't tried it yet. I definitely am going to in the future, to take this on the train, because I do want to stay hot. Maybe to California, just to see how it is down there. And also to Vegas, just to see if I can be riding on the strip with this thing. So definitely excited about taking this bad boy on the train. The weight. Off the bat, I had to say it. The weight, I could just throw this in the back of my car, no problem. And it doesn't get damaged because it's all chromed out. 4130 chromoly. And so I don't really worry about it. I do worry about my brakes, because there was a time where this brake was all the way back, touching the handlebars, and that kind of freaked me out because I couldn't use this brake and this brake is my rear brake. So definitely have to be careful, and also your throttle on throwing this in the back of your car or wherever. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Also guys, you can't take this on the train, which sucks. I think that's the main thing for me. I want to take it on the train. I want to state hop. You can't really state hop with this unless you're doing it with your car. Major con for at least me, my lifestyle. I mean, I still have the bike, don't get me wrong, because this is going to be, like I said, I treat this as a luxury bike. So this is going to be at home with me whenever I really want to shred. But I want to state hop, you know, and I can't do that. I can't put this on the train. It's too heavy. It's 100 pounds over. On the train, it's like 50 pounds. And the Zooz is at least 60 pounds. So, just to keep that in mind, guys. Now, differences between Onyx and the Zooz. I don't know if you can put integrated turn signals on this. I don't know if you can integrate turn signals on this. That would be nice to see. I've heard the Zooz is coming out with their own integrated headlight for their bikes. Still coming soon. But yeah, I haven't seen anything like that yet. But that'll be sick if the Zooz offer that. I also wanted to show everybody that this BMX bike also has a walking assist mode. So, but how you activate that is that you hold down this button and then it should go. Woo! That's sick. It's walking itself, yo. It's walking itself. It's walking itself. Oh shit. That's so sick. Okay guys, I'm actually on the bike. So let's try that again, but without pedaling. Because that was pretty fun. So it turns off if you take your hand off the button. So let's try that again. Oh, hey, hey, bitch, hey, no throttle, hey, that's sick. Ah, that's so sick, yo. Woo. And then it turns off. It's at 7 miles an hour. 6. Wow. I think the killer thing about this bike and owning one of these bikes is that you can take this to any bike shop. Any bike shop will repair anything on this bike, such as the rear disc, anything that were to get bent, your pads, your brake pads, maybe tightening bolts if you don't know too much about tools. So definitely a win on my book, because you could take this bike to any shop, bike shop, and they at least know what this bike look like, because it's a BMX. Now I will be more technical because this is electric, so I would at least take it to an electric bike shop, just so they wouldn't mess up your throttle sensor or your pedal assist sensor that's in the middle here. So when you pedal, it'll help you assist the power. I really like the seat, guys. I really like the seat. You can fit 2 people on that bad boy, and that's pretty sick. Especially if you've been wanting a bike where you can fit 2 people but don't have to, but you have the room for 2 people. So I think that's really nice, and I don't think any other bike has that, for at least an e-bike. Also, for the battery, guys, this is the 1100. You can't really see it, but it's thick. So this is the 1100. 35 miles on one charge. Didn't have to switch a battery. I do have an extra battery, so that's an extra 35 to 40 miles on top of that. So I'm technically sitting on 80 to 85-ish miles with 2 batteries. And if we're like literally riding, throttle, pedaling, yeah, definitely have the miles on this bike. You can definitely rack it up real quick with this one. The Onyx, you definitely have to be real more careful on riding that around, but it's definitely more fun, so I will give you that. But keeping up with the group and not running out of power so quickly, that's a definite win for the Zooz, because if you're planning on spending another $2K on an extra battery, then I mean, yeah, go for it if you have that type of money, but I don't have that type of money. So just to give anyone a heads up. Definitely want to point out that interchangeable batteries is a must for this bike. The Onyx cannot do that. I can interchange this battery bike in a matter of minutes. One time I changed this battery while out on a ride, and it was the easiest thing in the world to do. Definite over the Onyx. Yes, I would recommend picking up a second battery too, just for that extra range, because once you know you have an extra battery, you're definitely gonna shred through the first battery, because knowing that you don't have to wait until the first battery charged, which takes 5 hours, you're gonna be having so much fun. And knowing you have an extra battery in the back, oh my gosh, it's like you don't even worry about range anxiety. And I think that's the first thing on stock that the Zooz has over the Onyx. Alright guys, that was my review against Onyx and Zooz. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this little video I thought of. It's not really much of a comparison, because obviously it's a very much slower bike than a fast moped. But just please give me a comment down below what you guys think on what you guys might own for a first e-bike. The Onyx was my first. This is my second. Just let me know in the comments on what you guys think that you might get for your first e-bike. Give me a thumbs up. I at least want to try to get this video to 50 likes, because I worked hard on this one. So please just give me a like and subscribe if you haven't. But until next time guys, Koozie out.